but he maintains his unbeaten record, and it's a treble for Willie Mullins and Ruby Walsh.
See the Stars wins a fourth Guineas for Mick Cannan.
Good evening, morning, afternoon, whatever time you decided to tune in and watch us. This is the entry and the preview for entry for Saturday, and which obviously is the home of the famous Grand National, which will be running 5:15 on Saturday evening. But yeah, last week, personally for me, the All-Weather Championships didn't go as planned. Harry's Bar ended up, I think, finishing last, and a couple of other ones just weren't firing on all cylinders. But I think the lads there put up a few winners. George, you had a few weeks squeaks, didn't you?
Yeah, the Lord of the Lodge won the last the Apprentice race, didn't he? And well, we put up the favourite in the race at Hollydale one on Folas, but I did put up a little on saying that Folas would be coming home late and quick, which he did out of the picture and won. So I'm claiming that as a winner, even if I didn't put it up.
A winner's a winner.
Yeah. Kamari won for Wesley Ward as well on Saturday. She wasn't that great. I don't think she'll be winning Ascot, but. And what's his name won, didn't he? The Chester King. Always forget his name.
Sir
O'Brien's horse, yeah,
Oh.
Dragonet. Yeah,
Yeah.
he won that race in
Go on,
Australia.
boy,
Yeah. The horse I
Chester.
put up was a bit blocked, but was never going to beat him.
What about yourself, Dan? You had a few wee nice winners too, didn't you?
Yeah, just a couple, just Bangkok, Diligent Harry. It wasn't
Your best. What about your best mate winning the fucking sprint?
Summergand as well. Yeah, that's it. Finally, I did have a bet on him. Finally, he won.
Obliged.
Running for the fourth time in a month. So David O'Mara knew what he was doing. So he's just a very consistent horse, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to get up that well. But yeah, I think maybe George will edit in the naps table here. I'll have to drop down a place.
Yeah. None of us won, I don't think, did we? That last week.
No.
So yeah, I'm down
Mine was
to
last.
-2 now.
As Harry's Bar decided he was going to stay in the car park after he drew because he just was never in the race.
Well, Bangkok, Indie Angel, just.
Yeah, we'll leave that there, will we?
Absolute horror show from the start.
Yeah, that was a stinker. But yeah, without further ado, we'll get cracking on here. Get there. Turn on the light.
Bit brighter.
Blinded.
Start off entry the 145 on Saturday. It's the handicap hurdle, grade 3 handicap hurdle over 3 mile and half a furlong. Currently top of the market, we have Come On Teddy 15-2, Champion Platinum at 17-2, T Clipper 17-2, Polish or whatever they want to call it.
Polish, isn't it? I think it's
Polish.
Polish.
9-1, and yeah, Hometown Boy 10-1. The rest are 10-1 bar. Right, lads, who's got the winner of the first?
Numbers. I mean, I've not really had a look. I've had a look. I mean, I'm not really massive on this, so I'll go pretty quickly. Come On Teddy. I thought he ran a very good race in the Pertemps at Cheltenham, obviously behind Mrs. Milner, who was a decent winner that day. Obviously, the Bosses Oscar came out and absolutely just was horrendous at Fairy House the other day, but it looked a decent race. It looked competitive, and he was held up and obviously came in between horses. Sorry, that's the printer going now. I have no idea what's going off here.
Printing already.
Yeah, well, cheers for that. But yeah, he stayed on, finished third. Didn't really have much chance because he came from the back. So, but yeah, so I thought, Come On Teddy would, I think he's favourite, didn't he, or something? But he's 7.5-1. So.
Maybe a bit more of a prominent ride with suit that one this time then.
Yeah, I think I'll hold him up, but I think maybe give him a bit more of a chance.
A bit more of a chance, yeah.
Yeah, so
yeah, I was of the similar opinion of yourself. I don't really look at this race too much, but that's the one I came down to the conclusion of, just with the Cheltenham form and stuff. And that Mrs. Milner looked well through him, didn't she? She hosed up, didn't she? Like so. Yeah, it's not a race that I'm going to be betting in, but if I was forced to have a bet, my selection would have been Come On Teddy. George, take the floor.
Yeah, I've got a bit more of a stronger fancy than both of you, but maybe I shouldn't because I'm double the price. I quite like Dan Skelton's Tommy Rapper. So he was second in this race a couple of years ago. I think it was called something different then, but it is the same race. They haven't raced him much since. I think he's only run 3 or 4 times since. I think he came back, was it February, when he was second in a Potemps qualifier, which was a pretty decent run considering it was his first run since October 2019, I think it was. And then a very weird move. They put him into the Midlands National over 4.25 miles, which, it's bold, isn't it, considering he'd only run over 3 before. He was going really well until the home straight there, and then I think he just didn't quite get that distance, but he was travelling up with the leaders and looked like he could have been the winner, to be honest with you. Just didn't really find anything off the bridle. He's back over hurdles, obviously, here. He's off 139, which is only £3 more than what he was a couple of years ago. I think he's about 18 to 1 at the minute. So for a horse that's a bigger price, I think he'll run his race. He'll have the fitness on his side now. He's had a couple of runs, and I think Bridget's riding for Dan.
Yeah, she is. 18 to 1.
18 to 1, yeah. Each way, of course. You probably get 4 or 5 places. Most places, you would have thought.
Yeah, it's big enough field, isn't it? There's 22 down the run. 22.
Yeah. Wait until Sky price it up, and you'll have 9 places at 4 to 1 or something. Might be worth taking.
Dan, you're on mute.
Does he know that?
Sorry, I forgot I was on mute. What price is T Clipper?
17 to 2.
Oh, right. Well, they're all towards the top of market then. But yeah, I mean, Rachel Blackmore's been booked for that, hasn't she? So that's
interesting.
Very interesting. So they must fancy that to run well. Was third last time out. So obviously behind Heaven Help Us. So yeah, it's, there's a chance there, isn't there? It's, it's decent form, it's solid handicaps. This would be easier, you would imagine. So
which one are you going to put up out of the 2 then?
Obviously, your mate Janica, no, not your mate, my mate actually was on about Janica for Cheltenham. He backed him at 33 to 1 in that race as well, because he's off a lower hurdles mark. So he might be interesting. He finished 5th. I mean, he only plugged on, but out the 2, I'd go with.
It's off 145 again.
Yeah, so there's a few in there with shouts, but if I had to pick between the 3, it'd definitely be Come On Teddy. He's very, very consistent this season.
Yeah, that'll be the one for me. So Come On Teddy for me, Come On Teddy for Dan, and what's the name of the horse again? Sorry, George. Tommy Rapper. Yeah. Okay, moving on to obviously a fascinating clash here now in the 225 at Adrian Saturday. It's the Betway Mersey Novices Hurdle over 2 mile 4. We have My Drogo at top of the market. Not 7 to 4, is it? 2 to 1. Ballyadam 11 to 4. Drill Deal 13 to 2. And 10 to 1. Manila Drama. And bit of the rest. I'm going to start off here because I'm just going to put a bold comment out and just say My Drogo is going to absolutely hose up.
He did last time, didn't he?
Yeah, he's going to do it again. He only has Ballyadam to beat, and I don't like Ballyadam. As if you watched our Cheltenham previews, you know I don't like Ballyadam. I don't know. I just think he won the Royal Bond, but I think he's a wee bit overhyped. But I definitely do think the step up in trip's going to suit Ballyadam here. But at the same time, I think My Drogo's got a bit more class about him. He's lots of class, strong stare like we seen the last day at Kelso, and he was very green. I think there's a lot more to come from this horse, and he powered up the straight there at Kelso, absolutely hosed him. And Ballyadam, for me, just makes too many errors in this race. He'll have a bit more time to recover now that he's run over the extra 4 furlongs. But no, My Drogo, I think it was 2 mile 2 the last day, and he's now 2 mile 4, and he was staying all day. So that step up and trip's going to suit him as well. And I just think he's a classier horse than Ballyadam. So My Drogo for me. Dan, you don't look like you're agreeing. Are you agreeing or disagreeing?
Well, I actually thought Ballyadam should have been favourite. I don't understand why he isn't, to be fair, because 1, the Irish have just pissed all over the British runners all year, and 2, if you forget last time out, he's formed miles better than anything My Drogo's shown. I mean, he was very impressive the last day, My Drogo, but I mean, he only beat Do Your Job. I mean, he wasn't beating anything of what Ballyadam's been facing, coming up against Appreciate It, Blue Lord horses like that. I mean, I can see what you mean. He's not he's not like a one to be the most confident, is he? Because he does make mistakes, and he might not find as much as what he looks like he's going to find. And I think, with my Drogo, the case with him is that he looks a real stayer. Like he looks 3 miles. That definitely suit him as well. He just gallops, doesn't he? That's what he does.
Yeah, you see, he's
gallops all the way to the line. That might be enough to win it. That definitely. And they're going to have him spot on for this, aren't they? Because obviously he's not been to Cheltenham or anything. So
it's been the mind for quite a while now. Yeah.
I just didn't understand how Ballyadam wasn't favourite. I just thought if you look at, obviously, I think the reason he isn't favourite is because that he was 24 lengths behind Appreciate It, but he did make a very bad mistake. There's no way he's a 24 length worse horse. You can't go from being 3.5 lengths to 24 lengths behind. You know what I mean?
The only thing Appreciate It wasn't really cheap. That time at Leopard's Town before in Dublin Racing Festival, Appreciate It was not half the horse that we've seen at
Look, well, I mean, Appreciate It's just a better horse on him. We know that, but he's a better horse than my Drogo as well. So it's not my Drogo race. So I think you're right with the step up as well. I think the step up and triple suit him now. They've been saying this for a while, haven't they? That look, he needs 2.5,
and they've just never done it. So it's definitely interesting.
If that brings about improvement, then I think it's very interesting. But I just thought that Ballyadam should have been favourite, and if I was to pick out the two, I think Ballyadam. Yeah, I don't see why he's not the favourite ahead of my Drogo. To be fair,
George.
I think it's
go on, split us.
It's going to become a running theme of the day. I'm going to take it both on.
The real deal.
I completely see what you're saying about my Drogo. I think I can see him over 3 miles. Ballyadam, yeah, probably the same. I don't think he's really unfortunately, as good as what the hype was. Real deal, yeah, run well. I'm not picking him though.
Hey.
I like.
He's got a better chance here than he would have at Cheltenham, definitely. So.
No. I like a Dremel. Obviously, he was ridden by Richard Johnson in the Bartlett a few weeks ago. He's now retired, so he won't be riding him here. I think JJ Burke's on board from what I remember, but I don't have it in front of me, so I might be wrong.
Dickie Johnson actually liked my tweet last night. Wishing him happy retirement. Went on to my profile. And
he's an absolute legend. There's so many great stories about him. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. He led until 2 out in the Bartlett. He didn't stay the 3 miles there. He had another run at Cheltenham. I think it was in the Champion Bumper before, and he ran awfully there as well. He's one of the 6 other races though, so I just don't think he really likes Cheltenham. The Grade 2 he won at Warwick was over 2 miles 5, so he definitely stays this, even if he doesn't stay the 3 miles. I just think he's a bit underrated. Obviously, I'm a big fan of my Drogo. It was it Kelso that he won that race? He did only beat a horse rated 136, so obviously this is a much deeper race for him to be in. I think he should probably be a level price with Ballyadam. I wouldn't have my Drogo ahead of Ballyadam. But Drimel's 14-1, and I think that's an absolutely cracking proposition each way, because even if those top 2 perform, I think he's better than the rest of them. If one of them underperforms, if 2 of them underperform, if they run well and he just improves, he's very lightly raced, so he could improve. And look, if we're ignoring the Champion Bumper, because it's a Champion Bumper, the only time he's lost is over a trip that he didn't stay. So I can't have him at 14-1, definitely, even in a race like this.
Okay, so we're three race split here. So it's my Drogo for me. I think he's going to hold up. Ballyadam for Dan and Admiral, or what is it?
Well, I've been calling it a Dremel, but I have no idea.
Adrimel, I think. Yeah.
Adrimel, yeah. For George. We're going to move on to the 3 o'clock. No, actually, we're not, because Shishkin's going to win that by half the track.
We'll do the 3 o'clock and just go who wins, Shishkin.
I think what's the outsider of the 28s? I think that'll come second.
What, Elvis Mile?
Mouth Sail.
Gumball.
Longhouse Sail.
That's not Gumball. Let me just find the race. Hang on.
Yeah, it's Longhouse Sail, 25s.
From a Bill Savola.
Hang on. Let me just. I've clicked on Nico now.
Longhouse Sail is the outsider.
Outsider.
Yeah.
Oh no, It was that Fun and Bull Similar. That was double that price when I looked at it earlier. I'm sure it was. It's 14s now. I'm pretty sure that opened at like 28s or 25s. But yeah, Fun and Bull Similar, that'll come second.
Well, hopefully Shiskin keeps the dream alive and might 10-1 championship slip for next year. Come on, boy.
Yeah, I don't think you've got much to worry about here.
No, only a fall. That's it.
You couldn't even think that, could you? Because he just jumps really well.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
It's racing. It's racing. We've seen it all before, haven't we?
That's a sit and enjoy one. That one for Nico de Boinville.
Yeah, we move on to the 3:35 at Aintree. It's the Ryanair Stairs Hurdle. Time Hill and Paisley Park get to have the third battle, the third ding dong of the season. The one that they were took away from whenever Time Hill picked up a slight knock the week before Cheltenham. So we have Time Hill at 2-1, Paisley Park 5-2, Roxana 6-1, Lisnagar Oscar 9-1, and bigger the rest. Who wants to go first?
Yeah, I can take this one.
You must be confident.
Yes, sorry, I got sidetracked. We'll go back to the running theme. I'm taking them both on. Now, this is going to probably contradict what I've said previously. Obviously, racing's about changing. I like Roxana. I think Roxana's got a cracking chance here. From the information that we gained from the stayers, obviously Paisley Park, I don't think he's that top level. But then again, I don't think this race is of a top level staying race. Time Hill, yeah, he's a couple of years younger than Paisley, so maybe he's still got a little bit more he can give. But this season, obviously, they're very closely matched, as we talked about with Cheltenham. Roxana should have won that mare's hurdle, to be honest with you. Obviously, it was a bad bit on Concertista for me in the end. But if Roxana would have forced that pace, I'm convinced she would have won that race. I think you can probably put a line through that. Obviously, she'll get the £7 allowance here. Ran a decent race at Ascot behind these two on ground that was pretty poo.
Heavy,
yeah, she ran your... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say back and good grind this time around.
Yeah, better ground. She's ran here a couple of times, and I think she's finished second both times. So, I mean, I'm not 100% sure she'll make the running, but she could do, or she could just sit off them. As long as there's a bit of a pace, I think she'll go close, and she could win. The only reason that I say not the only, but the main reason why I'd be backing her is that she's 6-1. She's double the price of Paisley, triple the price of Time Hill. At those current prices, maintaining the allowance, I would have them 3 co-favourites, and I probably couldn't split them, to be honest. Yeah,
she was held up out the back that last time in Ascot when she beat Magical Light by 8 lengths. She absolutely hammered home through the field.
Yeah, Grand National winner. Magical Light, well, maybe.
Oh, you giving some hints away for later on, are you?
No, I think she'll run well, but I'm not putting her up.
Dan, what's the verdict?
Yeah. This is solid, isn't it? Just.
It's a good race, isn't it?
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's not bad. It's just really what should have happened at Cheltenham, really, isn't it? But you've got to give Time Hill the advantage there out of the two of them. Paisley Park.
I think so.
Because obviously he didn't have a run. The track will probably suit Time Hill better than it will Paisley Park as well. He's a proper stayer, isn't he? Time Hill's got a bit of pace on him. This is a flat track, so that's going to come into account. So I think Paisley Park's got it to do, to be honest, in this. And out of the two, I'd definitely side with Philip Hobbs's horse. He had one run earlier for JP McManus in the handicap, finished third. That Dostal Phil didn't really get the best ride in the world, but that shows that they're in. The form of the yard, it should be fine, especially for this lad, given that he's basically the leading light, or one of them anyway. Roxana, I can see the angle, but I just don't see where she turns the form around with both of them horses. I think they both have to underperform. Lisnagar Oscar's the one, isn't he? Because if you look at literally every single horse in this race, because if you go with third wind, to be fair. Obviously beat him in a handicap, but now they're off levels, so we should turn the form around there. So if you go by that, the only horse that can possibly beat the top two is Lisnagar Oscar, and that's if they all run to sort of their best. The only horse that can possibly get near to beating them is him. He obviously fell in the Stayers Hurdle at Cheltenham, but we've seen already at Aintree that it can be a bit of a blessing with Abacadabra's winning. Obviously today, which is the Thursday, so he fell in the Champion Hurdle, didn't he? So Lisnagar Oscar's not without a chance there, because Rebecca Curtis was very sweet on him beforehand, saying that she had him back to where she wanted him, and it looked that way when he was second to third wind in that handicap. Rachel Blackmore's been booked, obviously a top jockey booking, and I
didn't know
couldn't
that.
understand why he was 11-1. I just didn't get how the price difference for the Stayers Hurdle winner of last season. Obviously, he didn't win it this year, but he fell, so we don't know what would happen there. But the Stayers Hurdle winner from last season is 4 times the price near enough of Paisley Park, and even bigger of Time Hill. He is definitely the bet in the race. I won't give up on Thomas Darby either. I know I mentioned him before, and he went for that.
That's no handicap, didn't he?
Coral Cup, didn't he?
Yeah.
Carrying top weight. Was never in it. He was out the back. He's never had a chance. Finished near enough halfway in the field. He just wasn't in the race. It just didn't suit him. He got back early, and you know what happens at Cheltenham when they're in them 26 runner races. It doesn't happen, does it? I won't put you off, for an each way. He could definitely hit the frame. But if you're looking at winning, Lisnagar Oscar's a better horse than him. So I think Time Hill is the one to beat. I think Paisley Park is the one to take on in terms of, if the people like, taking on in terms of a lane perspective, which I don't. But Paisley Park for me is the one there. I just don't think the track will suit him. I think he had a hard race maybe at Cheltenham. And Lisnagar Oscar fell. So, yeah, I'll take him at, what is he, like 12-1 or something, which is a bonkers price. So, yeah. He's a cracking each way bet for me.
9-1.
I just seen William Henry in there. He might get up by a short head.
Yeah, bloody hell, don't remind me
Just
of
like
him.
he did in the Coral Cup.
Yeah, don't remind me of him. Don't remind me of him.
Wicklow Brave.
Oh my God, yeah, the state of that.
But, I'm swapping camps here. If you watched our preview show for Cheltenham, you knew I was Paisley Park's biggest fan, but I've given up. The day's come, I've given up. I think Time Hill will beat him. I think he'll beat him quite cosily as well. Just for Paisley had a really, really hard race. Like, coming around the top end of Cheltenham, he was hard off the bridle, and he stood on quite well, finished third, but he was never no closer getting to Flooring Porter. Like, he was always beat, but he had a hard race. And Emma Lavelle reckons he'll be sharper for that there, but I don't know. I don't.
That's rubbish. I don't understand that.
I don't get that.
Why would she not have your horse there?
Yeah.
That's rubbish. Don't listen to that.
She's saying he missed the run. He missed what race was moved? Remember the bad weather? The race was moved, remember?
I don't get
so then he couldn't go to Newbury. And it's always sharper now, but I don't buy that. I think Time Hill will batter him here. Don't like Roxana. I just don't like her, but I can see the angle you're coming from, but I just don't like her as a horse. But I think Time Hill comes out on top here. There will not be much in it again, and it's a big chance for Tom O'Brien after we said Dickie Johnson's retired now. Tom O'Brien's going to be getting the leg up in the majority of these big horses, so it's a good chance for him to get on his first week of getting the big rides with a cracking chance here. But as long as Time Hill, I can't remember.
Pretty short, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a wee bit short.
Short.
Yeah.
Both, we got 11-4, 9-4. It's like it's not as clear cut. I don't get why they're so short. I mean, on the ratings, the horses are in with a chance. Roxana gets £7. That puts her £2 behind Time Hill. We've seen she was 3 lengths off the pair. This track could suit better. We don't know than Ascot. Like I say, our Oscar, this flat track is going to suit. He's £3 off him. That's makeable, that. And that's with his rating coming down. He was a 160 rated horse, so he was only £2 off. If he's back to the best,
sure.
I just think it's a bizarre race, and I think it's just worth taking them on. So
yeah, I'm gonna still stick with Time Hill. I think he's got a massive chance here. And Dickie Johnson and Tom O'Brien's here telling him how to ride this horse, because if I remember right, the day Paisley Park beat Time Hill, Dickie Johnson would do anything to get that ride back.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I think
too early.
And Dickie was very bullish of Time Hill's chances going into that Stayers Hurdle. Whether he would have won, we don't know. But we'll see how
What was
good
the
he is.
reason he was out of Cheltenham again?
I can't remember. Like, what
Do you
did he
remember?
have?
No,
That'd be interesting because
it was only it was like a small bruise or something, wasn't it?
Yeah,
right, that's okay then, because obviously it's just interesting to see what they
Well,
you know,
yeah,
what
there's
the-
nothing serious to be back this quickly for this
yeah,
kind
that's
of
what I was
race.
thinking.
yeah, it does say due to minor injury.
Yeah, so it's probably
And
kept
then-
him out a few days and didn't want to risk him.
He has pulled a muscle just behind the saddle on the right hand side.
Yeah, he'll be
And
fine.
it's
Okay.
minor to
Yeah,
the
but-
extent that the 3 mile race at Aintree is 4 weeks tomorrow, and I very much think we'll get him there. You know, maybe that is a little bit of a, at 9 to 4.
Yeah, I saw my notes as I said.
This
like,
is
he's
the
not-
active plan. This is not the plan. You know what I
But
mean?
I still think regardless,
Yeah.
if he went to Cheltenham, he still would have went here anyway. I
Yeah.
still think they would have ran. So, but it's just
I mean,
yes,
I
you
said-
obviously missed that Cheltenham race.
I say with this, with the I just think you can pick holes in them. But I say with this, they'll probably finish 1-2 again. So
Yeah,
I just think you can
I
pick
think they'll
holes
finish
in
1-2.
them. I mean, on paper, I think if you look at the holes that you can pick, they're there. Given how short they are, and given that you're getting some big prices on horses that on their day have shown form that would put them in the mix. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I'd
Yeah.
have run Flooring Porter here. If I was Gavin Cromwell, I'd have come and picked this race up with Flooring Porter. I
yeah.
don't see how
Yeah.
that form could have been turned around this
It must be
quickly.
going to well, they
Definitely
do
not with Paisley
Punchestown.
Park. Yeah, they'll be in
Yeah, I
Punchestown.
don't
Now,
think he
that
has an
would-
entry, but I suppose he would do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I think Time Hill. I think he'll storm. Well, he's not going to piss in, like, but he's going to win this. I think.
We've got the front
He's
three covered then.
got the front recovered. Somebody's going to get a winner.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to the one before the big one, as they call it. It's the Betway handicap chase, grade 3 over 3 mile, 200. Yeah, 3 mile 1 furlong. Let's say. My computer would load. Happy Go Lucky is at top of the market at 7-2, and then Cloudy Glen 8-1, Top Notch 8-1, Fagan 11-1, Sam Brown 11-1. Spirit of the Games, George.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he's back
11
over
to
the
1.
He's
fences.
back.
Well,
He's
he couldn't exploit that.
Guess who's
hurdles
back?
mark, could he? So I don't think he'll win here.
Yeah, and yeah, bigger the rest. Right, who's going to tell us the winner?
Yeah, go on. I won't spend too long on this because I don't have a massive opinion on it. Obviously, Happy Go Lucky was not so lucky to finish second at the festival. I think that would have been my biggest win of the week if he would have won. So that was a bit
Are
disappointing.
you going back for compensation?
No. Um, what do they say? Fool me one time, shame on you. Fool me twice, and I don't have enough money left. No, the one I like out of this was Top Notch. Obviously, he was third in the Paddy Power Plate off top weight. It was about 50-1 or something.
And the King, Shunter.
Yeah, he's got 3 mile form. I think he was he second or third in the long walk at Ascot one year, I think. So he definitely
Yeah,
stays.
he was, yeah.
Obviously, he's top weight again here, but Luca Morgan takes off 7. So theoretically, he's £2 lighter than Happy Go Lucky, and he's rated £5 better. So I think he'll do all right. The other thing that I picked up on watching the racing at Aintree today, obviously it's Thursday today when we're filming this, they did tend to get strung out a few times, and a lot of them won off the front. This boy will be, he won't be leading, but he'll be right up there tracking them. So I think he'll be in the right position if they do get strung out. And I think he's 15-2, so it's hard to back him to win. It's hard to back him each way, isn't it? But I think he won't be out of the top 3. I wouldn't have thought. Spirit of the Games, back over fences, probably not off this mark. The only other one I did like was Snow Leopardess. I thought she ran a great race at Cheltenham. And
Yeah,
seemed to
she
go
did.
well again. But apart from that, yeah, I'd probably between
She's just very
those
slow,
two.
isn't she?
Yeah, that's the only thing. But I suppose I don't know what the weather's like at Aintree. If it stays
Ryan
good and soft.
It'd be good to soft at the very worst.
Yeah, Lelor ran a couple of good races at Aintree, hasn't she? I'm sure she won that Grade 1 hurdler a couple of...
Yes.
Go. Sorry, he. I'm looking at Kaylee Wonnacott and saying she.
Let me go back and quickly.
I think he's had a couple of thirds this season.
Faith Fishing to Flow.
Yeah, Lelor could go okay. That John BB was looking fairly decent prospect this season until he fell last time out. It's a hard race. Ramsey Dete, Kilfillan Cross. I'm just going to shut up because I can probably give you a case for all
Case
of
for them all.
them. Top notch. Let me just stick with top notch. 15-2. Yeah, so I won't be having a bet on him, but that would be my token selection.
Yeah.
Dan?
Yeah, another hard one. Two horses that I thought were pretty interesting. I wouldn't back Happy Go Lucky because I thought he should have won the last day if he was that well handicapped. He's gone up another £2 for that. So
he made a bad mistake the last, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He was never going to win, was he? But
no, but he just definitely crucified his chances there, didn't he?
Mistakes throughout the race as well. It was pretty concerning when I was watching it. He wasn't really that fluent. He didn't jump that well, did he? That's probably in the end. Because all the way throughout, he just made mistake. Then he dropped back, and he's lucky that he has David Bass as jockey, because if it was a few others, he probably wouldn't be anywhere near second in that race. So that's the bonus for him. He does have an extremely good jockey on board. Cloudy Glen, I think he needs further. He's well handicapped. I think he needs further. Top Notch is not very well handicapped, but they take £7 off his back, so that's interesting for him. The one I like was Sam Brown. He arguably is well handicapped. We haven't seen.
He's a graded horse running the handicap.
Yeah, possibly.
Effectively, yeah.
We haven't seen him since he ran in November, which is a little bit of a concern. It's a bit strange, but he was running against Imperial Aura that day, giving him £2, was beaten 3 lengths. The second was Windsor Avenue, I think. He wasn't beaten far by him. He was giving him maybe £6 or £8 that day. His marker 152, it makes him look, fairly well handicapped. Off of that, he could be well handicapped anyway. The ground is a bit concerning because all his form really, from last season was on soft ground. So that'll be interesting to see how he goes on that. But they clearly think that he's got a chance because they've booked Harry Cobden, so that's a good jockey booking. So I thought he was interesting. And the other one is all the way down. No, he's not. He's there. He's Lalore, which is for Caleb Woolacott, which is interesting to see him back from 440 odd days or whatever it's going to be. Now he's off a marker 151, which is definitely a fair mark for him. He's been dropped £2 since we last seen him when he was 3/4 of a length behind Sapage, and your mate, Spirit of the Games.
I only just realised that those two races he had were January 2020 and not 2021. I didn't see that when I was. I had a quick look.
Yeah,
welcome back.
There's too many horses to keep track of.
Aidan Coleman is back on board. He was on board for those two races. Now, he finished very close up off of 149. He was beating Shorthead third behind Old Grangewood in a race that Old Grangewood's just farmed, didn't he, for a while. Then he was behind St Calvados that day as well, was in second. That was off 149. He's £2 higher here. And obviously he's £2 lower than when I said he was like 3/4 of a length behind Sapage. He's well handicapped. The thing is with him, when he ran at Aintree, he ran shocking. He was expected to run well that day. He was never travelled, did he? But he does have a good record when fresh. They seem to have him spot on for his first outing. So, if it's not the Aintree factor that sort of puts him off, then he steps up to this trip for the first time. But, the reason they have him in here, surely they're going to give this a crack. They're not going to have many more chances, are they, this season? So he's a 9-year-old now. They're going to have him fit, let's hope. And, they must clearly think that he's working as he's a horse that needs this trip now. And he was just well handicapped. So I thought 151 he's very interesting. Like, I won't be saying he's a great thing to go well. He could pull up or he could run a blinder. He's one of them horses. But Sam Brown, he's fairly well handicapped, but very well handicapped for me is Lalore, because I think he could have been a easily late 150s horse. So I think they both could go well at prices.
I'm siding with Cloudy Glen. He would have won that race at Cheltenham. Mount Ida was absolutely chucked in, as we know, because she probably should have won that grade. Was it listed race last week at Ferry House, wasn't it, against Ellie May and stuff?
Ellie May,
an extra furlong or two, and she had absolutely hosed him. I just think that's good form. I think that's good form. I don't have a massive opinion on these handicaps. I tend to just give him a wee bit, have maybe a wee fiver nibble on the day, but it's
a
not
hard
too
race,
bad.
isn't it? I think it's the hardest
it's
race of the day.
Yeah, I
yeah,
think,
it
and I
is.
think
And we've
this
got the
is-
Grand National to come.
I think this is a lot harder than, obviously the National is the hardest race for me, but I
Yeah.
think this is a lot harder than
The
what.
first race, yeah.
No, I think this is a lot harder than what Cloudy Glen ran in last time. I think it's harder than the Kim Muir.
All right,
race.
okay.
I think, I don't know. He's well handicapped. I just think it's a harder race. He could get took off his feet. It just worries me. I just think he's short because he just seems to not. He doesn't have tactical pace, and it's just like it proved at Cheltenham as well because he just got swept. I know it was well handicapped, but it was still that pace that he just lacks. He just lacks that. He's not well handicapped. He could be a 150 horse, but he just lacks that gear. It was just.
Yeah.
I just wasn't so sure on this ground. You know what I mean? Because he might need softer ground to play into more of a stamina thing, and the ground's just drying up all the time. That was the only thing that put me off him because he is well handicapped. So.
Yeah, I'll give him a chance. He hit the one. Not be one I'll be advising as a selection anyway, but I hit the one I thought I'd give him a shout. So it's Cloudy Glen for me. Was it Lalo you're going for, Dan?
Well,
Or
I
Sam
mean,
Brown? We nibble on the both of them?
yeah, I mean, I'll back both. So I'll just do that and just say I'll back both. So because I will.
George?
Top notch for me, but
George,
not,
you threw about
not
15
fun in
hours.
race.
You threw about 15 hours at the race. Where's the art land at?
Yeah. I'll stick with top notch because I'll stick with
£10
top notch.
plane,
But I would be partial to back every horse, and then you've got a winner, haven't you?
Yeah.
Now it's time to look at the big one. The Randox Grand National.
Just a little disclaimer before we go into this. I've never backed the winner of a Grand National. Oh, no, I have. I backed one for Arthur. But apart from that, I've never backed a horse that's come in the top 3 or 4.
Well, I backed Tiger Roll. Was it 2019, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Absolute shame to see him not run here.
I mean,
Should have been here.
I've got the winner this year. I will say I've got the winner
let's
this year.
see. What were the Grand National? I went on a run of about 4 out of about 5 or something.
Tiger Roll was 18-19, wasn't he? Was one for
Yeah,
Arthur 2017 or was that 16?
Yeah, it was before. No, he must have been 2017. Grand National winners.
First one I watched was
Oh,
Hedgehog.
what they are? I just can't remember the years.
The years, yeah,
I get confused. So obviously, like you said, Tiger Roll won for Arthur. Rule the World. That's when it went bad for me because I backed.
Who was on Rule the World?
David Mullins.
Gigginstown horse,
David
wasn't
Mullins.
it?
David
Yeah.
Mullins. I backed Don't Push It, Bala Briggs, Neptune Colognes, and then Many Clouds. So
Yeah, I backed Bala Briggs.
I remember when I was, I think
4
I was
out of 6.
7. I must have been 7 when Hedge Hunter won. My dad said to me, he said, right, we're all going to put a little bet on for the Grand National. This is, I suppose, is how I got into gambling at the age of 7.
I was going to say, is that how you ended up hooked?
I'm on Hedge Hunter. Your mum's on Hedge Hunter. This is before they'd broken up. Your sister's on Hedge Hunter. What would you like? Oh, I can't remember what I fucking said. Anyway, it came nowhere. It fell, and then Hedge Hunter won. So
Well, the Neptune Colognes was quite a famous one in my household because it was just when I was starting to get into racing. And obviously, he was like 33-1, wasn't he? And he was he just won on the line, didn't he? Just on the nose.
yeah, it's that race, isn't it, that gets everybody in.
It was just I was sat in the morning, going through the paper, picking all. It used to take me hours. I used to think I was like the new John McCrick, and then the next thing we'd had a bit. Right, you're gonna have to pick now. I said, I'll have this one, Neptune Colognes. Next thing you know, he backed it. Everybody else backed it, and all saying, "Oh, he's put it 33-1 romps in." You're like, "Ah, Jesus!" So we were
Get
all.
up them stairs.
It was a free Chinese that night. Let me tell you, mate. It wasn't any beers, obviously. Given I was about 14, but the Chinese was free that night.
Right, let's talk about the winner. Let's talk about our potential winners then.
Well, should we talk about what Cloth Cap and see who? Because he's the elephant in the room, isn't he? He's the
He's about 4 stone well in, isn't he?
Yeah, it's like the way this is going. Cloth Cap could have me on his back and win.
But the thing is, right,
It's a
it's
stone
obviously he's
well
getting
in.
carried away. But is he the same price as Tiger Roll in 2019? Like, which horse would you be backing? You'd be backing a Grand National winner, wouldn't you? You wouldn't be backing a horse that's got to jump all these.
I'll not be backing him. I'll not be
The
backing
thing
him.
is, oh no, I'm not saying it backing, but the thing is with Cloth Cap is, if this was any other race, what price would he be? Like, even the 40 runners, what price would he be? Any other race that's a national, he'd be shorter than 2 to 1. He's a stone well in. £14. Like,
that many runners. Somebody could jump into him in the first and it's all over. Ding dong.
Yeah, that's the thing, and this is the thing with the national. But I think with the,
he could win a Grand Derby with that weight.
As well in places. I think with the Grand National, the name of it, I can see where people are coming from when they say, like, look, this is a shoe-in, because he is. If he gets round and they're going to keep him out of trouble, aren't they? That's the thing. He's a prominent racer as well. Remember that. He's not a sit out the back horse, so he's not going to be any further back than you would think 8th if they get jumping off right. If they get the right jump off, yeah, he's going to be in a line. You know what it's like. There's 6 or 7 of them in a line. He's going to be in that front rank. If he jumps and gallops, what beats him? Like, what is better handicapped than a 14-pound than a Stonewelling handicapped horse?
Well,
nothing.
Sure we'll tell you.
Will be better handicapped because the weight. The thing is with horses, they're that high now, aren't they? You know, they're that classy. They can't possibly have 14 pounds. Burrows Saint would be rated 170 if he had 14 pounds in hand on his handicap mark. Is he a 170 rated horse? No, he's not by a long shot. Like, you just add 14 pounds to him. Magic of Light would be rated 170. Farclough would be rated 160. Bristol de May would be rated 181. This is the way you look at it, though, isn't it? Like, Annabelle Fly would be rated 179. No, that's the thing.
Oh yeah, I can.
Yeah, this is the thing. Obviously, I'm not saying
this is horse racing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. This is
a lot can happen.
I haven't backed him, so but people who are on at like 16s, fair play, because this horse has got an absolutely outstanding chance of winning it. This is a handicap, and he has a stone in hand. He has an absolutely outstanding chance.
If you're on at a double figure price, you're buzzing, aren't you?
Yeah, and you know what? Like the price on the day. If he gets like 6, 7 to 1, I'd back him then.
Yeah, he's going to be bigger than this, isn't
he? He's drift. He'll drift. He's going to drift.
I think you'll get 11 to 2.
If he hits 6 to 1, I'll back him 100% because he's better than a 6 to 1 chance.
I don't know why. I just can't back him now at 9 to 2. It's on the screen. But if he starts to drift, and if my Jogo goes in on Saturday and Time Hill win, and I would have to start contemplating having a bet.
It'd have to be 10s if I was going to back him.
10s? No, he wouldn't. No way.
I'm sorry, but
don't push it when it's 10 to 1. Comply or die when it's
the thing. The thing that he has to jump these fences. That's a massive thing. Trevor Hemmings gets these horses fine. He's probably going to jump. He's probably going to jump fine. He's then got to avoid all these horses in front of him. I thought Tiger Roll was a terrible bet at 9 to 2 in 2019. Obviously, I was completely wrong.
Him.
I didn't think it was a terrible bet. I thought he was too short. But that's
the one thing about Cloth Cap and the weight. He's got to carry a weight over such a longer distance. He's got, for us to say that he's this well in,
5.
He has to run to that exact level of what the handicapper says he is. Now, horses don't always do that. Horses don't do that half the time.
Well, no, of course they don't. But obviously, he hacked up off 136. He absolutely bolted up off of 148. Like,
I'd have him in at 8s. I think 8s is a fair price.
If he was 8 to 1,
let me ask this question.
Put the 8 to 1 on the Betfair. I'll be straight on with 8 to 1.
Let me ask this question: If Tiger Roll was in the race this year, would he win?
Yes, Tiger Roll would be 2 to 1 favourite.
No, I don't think he'd win this year. No.
Look at the bookings.
If he was in this race, I would be all in.
No, he wouldn't. I don't think.
If Tiger Roll was in this race, I'd be all over him.
I think if based on that run in the cross country, you can say that he won't win.
No, I don't think. I don't think he'd win. No.
He'd lap clap calf.
I think he's a. I just don't get it. I think he's a. I just think this year, what is he going to be? £1 well in a summit? Like,
I think O'Leary's absolutely.
He'd had to carry a lot of weight.
I think this was a perfect chance to get the 3rd Grand National. And
I'm not saying
O'Leary's
I'm not saying he wouldn't have had a chance. I'm saying I said, didn't I? He definitely they will kick themselves. He definitely should.
Yeah, we'll run him in a Grade 1 chase, and
where he gets lapped.
Yeah, but he run him in a Grade 1 chase to try and prove the handicapper wrong.
He definitely should have went for this race, but won it. I mean, I don't know.
He went very close.
Yeah,
Anyway,
he'd have ran a great
what
race.
is going on it?
What we backed then anyway? Come on, what we
Well, what we
backed?
There are many bets. Many bets are you going to have in the Grand National? I'm going to have 3
I've
bets.
backed 2 horses. I like 3 horses. I'll probably do the third one on
I'll
the
see
day.
what price Cloth Cap gets to before I see then. Then I'll make me mind up. John Joe Neal's a little shrewdy this year, isn't he? With these handicappers, he's loving it. This will be I tell you what, John Joe Neal, mate, legend. Well done. If he wins this race, he should train every bloody horse in Britain, John Joe Neal, because he's absolutely laughed at these Irish boys if Cloth Cap wins this. He must have known he was well handicapped. Chucks him in off 136, bolts up off 148, and he's sitting in the Grand National carrying 10 stone 5 when he should be carrying £14 more. Fair enough, mate. If he wins this, that is some training feat. That just to put that out there. Everybody would be raving if it was Willie Mullins or Gordon Elliott. Well done. The Irish have done it again. They've mugged us off.
It's actually Denise Foster now. Come on.
This is a chance for the Brits to say, we're training over here. He's training in this part of the waters and he's mugging off the handicapper here. I mean, you know what the handicapper's like in Britain? If you win by 3 lengths, you get a £35 rise.
Well, I have 2 bets in this race, and there'll be a third one if he gets in. He's currently second reserve.
Here he is.
You'll do well.
We know that is then. We all know that is.
National winner.
Yeah. My main selection, the one that I have been looking for the past week, I got an absolute stonking chance. Disco-rama. Paul Nolan.
Ding, 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 ding.
Ding, ding, ding. 18-1. I think this is an absolute smashing chance. We know he jumps well, gets a trip. He was second in the national home chase at Cheltenham 2 years back.
Yeah, but look how they finished. They were falling over when they crossed the line.
Yeah, but I still think this horse stays. He's a nice weight. He jumps well.
Yeah, he'll stay, won't he? Because they'll go a lot slower. But
Just on luck, this horse has placed at 3 Cheltenham festivals, I believe. And he's had one disappointing run this year. But after that, it looks like they've packed up their bags. Like we'll just aim towards the Grand National then.
He was really keen then, I think, wasn't he, in November?
Yeah, 3 Mile 1 Cheltenham, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Paul Nolan knows how to get these horses ready. Obviously, we spoke about Mrs. Milner there earlier on in the attempts at Cheltenham. And yeah, I'm hoping for a massive run for this one. They seem quite confident. They're low-key confident. See a bit of media talk about them this week. 18-1 is a great price, I think. The other one that I was interested in was Kimberley Candy.
Yeah.
Run well around the entry fences. It's 2 years ago now in the Beechers, isn't it? For Christmas.
Yeah.
Beat 24 lengths, but was given away £13. So that should have set them up nicely. I think they were going to go for the Grand National last year, but obviously COVID
that was in
prevented
December,
that.
It just gone.
Yeah. And he ran the December before in the race as well.
Yeah.
He was second
again,
before.
Yeah. So he's got nice experience around these fences, and he's definitely one I'd be keeping an eye on. The third one is Secret Reprieve. If he gets in, he won the Welsh National Cosley off 1-3 something. He's now 1-4-4. Which is a featherweight. I think he needs 2 to come out here to get in. If he gets in, he's definitely got a chance at 14-1. But that's for me.
Because he's been the subject of like a lot of hype, hasn't he, for this? And he won that Welsh National. He won it very well. He won it easily, really, for a Welsh National anyway. But given that what he's been running on, the ground.
Yeah.
Because that's got to be a bit of a worry, isn't it?
Yeah, that was the only thing. That's why he's the one that I'll be playing at small stakes. My main bet, Disco-rama.
Because he's got an excellent chance off his rating and weight, but it's just the ground. I thought, even if he gets in, everybody's like, he's going to get well backed. He'd be short. He'd probably be a single figure if he got in. But it was just like, the ground. Does he want to take on then? Because the ground factor's like, does he need it? So, does he need that soft ground to perform to his best?
Just picking up on your Kimberley Candy, Ben. That race at Aintree, obviously the Beecher, the one that's just gone, not the one before. Vieux-Leon Rouge beat him by 24 lengths, giving him £1. In the national, Kimberley Candy's got to give Vieux-Leon Rouge £5.
Yeah,
it's a £6 turnaround. He beat him by 20-something lengths. I mean. Look,
maybe I've read
this
wrong. I was doing this on Monday night when I was extremely tired. Maybe I've read this wrong.
No, yeah, but bear in mind the thing is with Kimberlite Candy is the ground again. You know, he would probably want it. He wouldn't want it as a bog. Do you know what I mean? He'd probably want a bit. This good to soft ground is probably perfect for Kimberlite Candy. So I don't think it's perfect for Viewlion Rouge, and he ain't getting any quicker, is he?
No, Kimberlite Candy gave Beyond the Rouge £13 at Christmas, just before Christmas.
Did he?
Kimberlite Candy was on 11.6, and Kimberlite or
10-7.
the Rouge was on 10.7.
Oh, for God's sake. Yeah, it's been a busy day. I was looking at 11-year-old, obviously, and then I saw £7. And
And there was me thinking I was smoking crack.
so he gave him, what, a stone? How pounds a stone?
14.
Yeah, he's still being by 24 lengths, though, so...
He's a 12-year-old.
Oh, yeah, no, I can definitely see your point.
Yeah,
I just think he's one to keep an eye on.
I'll,
He's a
so we
big
don't
price
run
for a
on
place.
too long, I'll quickly go through the ones that I quite liked for this. The one that I haven't backed yet that I might do on the day is Canelo, Alan King's horse. That's run a couple of good races this season, was third in the Grinthorpe, which, I mean, look, he was favourite, but I think Alan King even said before the races, we're just taking him here to freshen him up for the National. I think he'll go well. The one that I fancy, the most out of the three is the first reserve, Some Neck. Obviously, I tipped him up each way for the cross country at Cheltenham, and he came third from an absolute mile back. He's never going to beat Tiger Roll, was he? But he was only a couple of lengths behind Easy's Land. He won another cross country race at Cheltenham in December. He looks like he'll definitely get the distance. He's a completely different horse over these longer trips.
Will he get in?
Well, he's first reserve, so he'd have to carry 10-1. So I just need one to pull out, essentially. I've got a lovely little stat for you, as I know you boys love your stats. He was 20 lengths, 20 lengths behind Tiger Roll in the cross country off level weights. If Tiger Roll turned up here, Some Neck would be getting £22. So £2 swing should be favourite. It's 40 to 1. Yeah, 40 to 1. If he gets in, right, if this horse gets in, he's going to be no bigger than 18 to 1 before the off. The other one that I will throw in as a token, just in case Some Neck doesn't get in as my selection, is an even bigger price. Alpha Desobo, 66 to 1.
Bloody hell!
Obviously,
you like these old slow ploggers, didn't you?
You must have a 0.02% share in this one, do you?
We're on the same form lines, aren't we? So obviously he was fourth in the cross country. He was at the back like Some Neck was. He was sticking on. He was travelling strongly in this in 2018 when he fell at the chair. He was third in this in 2019. He's got the race form. If you run this horse at anything less than 3.5 miles, anything less than 4 miles, he is rubbish. But for some reason, I think it's his year, and that the more I say it, I'm convincing myself. Alpha Desobo, 66 to 1. I've played him each way. I'll play Some Neck each way, which it is a day.
Fill your boots.
Fine. I don't think Some Neck's going to get in, and I don't think the second reserve will get in based on that, obviously. Yeah. Alpha Desobo, 66 to 1. Canelo's 40s, Alan King's horse. I think it'll go well. But yeah, all aboard the 66s. If we all have a score each way, that'll pay for Cheltenham next year.
Dan, what are you backing?
I've only backed one horse so far, so all my colours on nailed to one mast. But no, I'll back a few more. Obviously, I'll see what bloody price Cloth Cap ends up getting. But
what's the one you've backed?
Annabelle Fly. Because
Martin. Yeah.
Annabelle Fly has got an absolutely outstanding chance in this race, and there's no ifs or buts. This thing, if this is anywhere near as good as it was, this has got an unbelievable chance.
Like an old horses that ain't got any pace. What you doing, man?
I know I was giving you the old crib there for for Alfred Obo, but this lad's got some class. He's got everything you need for a national. Fair enough. His form has been, and obviously he was off for a year, wasn't he? And then he came back and was beaten 18 lengths by Acapella Bourgeois. But there's no way he was fit for that. That was just a proper pipe opener, wasn't it? The Tony Martin yard is as shrewd as you'll find. They know what they're doing with this lad.
Me and him a good crack at Down Royal one Friday night. What a legend.
Yeah, this is last chance
He
hurrah.
loves a dodgy handicapper at York as well, doesn't he?
Oh, he loves a dodgy handicapper anywhere, Tony Martin.
Down
And he's got
Royal,
one
I'll
here
tell you a story after the show. It's a cracker.
because this lad was bloody fourth, beaten 11.5 lengths by Tiger Roll. Got one of the worst rides I've ever seen in a Grand National, I thought, where Barry Geraghty, absolutely amazing jockey, but I just couldn't understand why he went round the houses on this horse all the way, gave it no chance. It was just like, what is going off? If he could have had that ride back again, he definitely would have. He ran a blinder, carried 11 stone 8. He's £4 lower this year. Obviously, then went back because obviously he was third in the Gold Cup that year as well, wasn't he? Behind Native River, he was second in the Gold Cup last year. He could have won. He could be a Gold Cup winner. This horse, he flew home in 2019 behind Alboon when he won its first year. Then went on to the National again, this time off 164, so £5 higher than when he was fourth last year. He was beaten 16.5 lengths this time by Tiger Roll, who was obviously well in, as we know again. That was off 164. Obviously, he's £9 lower this time around. They've done a good job here. This is a great chance. You won't get many better 33-1 shots, right, in a National where you can say he's got place form in the National both times that he's ran, 4th and 5th. He's twice finished second in a Gold Cup, which is a great point for this race, and it always has been. And he's got a, ridiculously shrewd trainer in Tony Martin. He's bloody owned by JP McManus, and he's got Dennis O'Regan on board. He's a brilliant jockey in these sort of races. I know he's 11-year-old, but they've won it before. Obviously, we know, bloody hell, 11-year-old means nothing in the National. So I just couldn't see how he's doing.
You're on. This is it. You're on. That's it. You're on.
Hey?
You're on.
Yeah, this is one where if this horse won, everybody would say, oh, well, he's there, innit? It's all there. All the form is there because it is. There's nothing, if he was in better form, in terms of if he came back, right, and was second behind Acapella Bourgeois, let's say, which he probably could have been if he would have been fitter. There's no way he was fit. He ran fine. He just weakened, didn't he? 2 out. And bear in mind what trip that was over as well. This is a completely different trip. That was over 3 miles and a furlong, but this is a completely different trip now.
An extra mile.
If he would have finished second, beating 8 lengths, something like that, what price would be there? It'd be half the price near enough. So I just thought 33s. Like, I just couldn't get it because there's some in front where, like, Bristol de May is bigger price. He won't win this race. No way. He won't win this. Not a chance.
No, not unless it rains.
Yeah, not unless he bloody starts jumping the fences better because, he won't win this. No way is Bristol de May going to... Surely he's not going to jump the fence. If he jumps these fences and wins this, what a training performance that is from Nigel Twiston.
Do you have an issue with Simon and Isaac Minear horses?
Oh, who's you? Oh, yeah.
James de Burleigh.
Hey, I was right on that one. I'll probably be right.
Cannon my future raffles.
Tell you what, Bristol the Mail do well if they get him round and he finishes in top 10. That's a brilliant performance from him. That, the ones that you've got to fear, obviously, Cloth Cap, Burrow Saint is obviously, he's got a very good chance, isn't he? He's going to be trained at the minute for this. Manila Times has got a good chance for Rachel Blackmore. Very low weight, JP McManus second colours. I wouldn't be surprised to see that run very well as well. I don't like any second now. I couldn't have him in a million years. He's the first one, and I don't get how he's the first colours because he won the last day, right? Beat Castlebrace Paddy, who obviously the form's been franked from that, so that's good.
What a legend.
But look at the race comments. This was over 2 miles, right, in a grade 2. And the race comments after it said, travelled very well in a small field of runners, never travelled in the large field of runners in Thyestes. Right, in the Thyestes, there was 18. There's 40 in here. No, forget about that. Goodbye. Because if he's right, or he's not absolutely bullshitting us, why is he 10-1? Because it's not like he's unbelievably well handicapped, is it? It's just like, I don't get it. I just don't get how he's 10-1. I just couldn't see it. Thought the other ones had a far better chance. Discorama as well, that was the other one. I can see where you're coming from with that because, he looks a stayer. It's just whether he's going to need this trip. But, the better ground as well will suit him. So that could help. Don't forget Magic Light either because she's finished place as well. So Farclag.
What's Rachel riding?
I can't believe
Farclag.
What is he doing in here anyway?
Hey.
Farclag. What the hell is he doing in there at 21?
He's your mate.
No, he's got no chance either. Forget about him. No way. 2 mile 4, stepping up to 4 mile 2. Forget about that. No. There's a lot in here that literally have no chance, isn't there? That's the thing.
Definitely, for sure.
Mr. Malarkey, forget about him. No chance. Won't stay. Give me a copper. No way. He won't jump. He'll do well to get round. Acapella Bourgeois, always promised, never does it. Who else are we talking about here? Yala Enki's going to need softer ground. You know, we can keep going here. Definitely Red. No way. No way. The only people that back him are Liverpool fans, aren't they? Just trying to think of one at a bigger
I'll not be backing him.
You might be right there with Villain Rouge. He might fill a place because he goes so well
around his race, won't he?
Yeah. So he
50 to 1.
Yeah, that's it. So he's not actually that bad of a price in terms of, Shattered Love, like Alpha de Zobo. Oh, he needs to be retired. He needs to be retired. That horse, like Black Lion.
He's got 0.02% sure. I know I told you this before.
Black Lion,
Yeah, I got 800.
Corral doesn't jump. Yeah, forget about some double shuffle. Blimey, O'Reilly. There's
What's your pick then? Go on.
There's some dross ones in here, isn't there?
Should we say we can have
Damn, I'm going to tell you something. You've definitely mentioned the winner.
Annabelle Fly.
You've mentioned them all.
Annabelle Fly is the pick, and Annabelle Fly can go well.
Disco Rama for me. George, off the table.
Some neck, but obviously if he doesn't get in, Alpha de Zobo.
Oh, what is going on? I'll take that bet.
That's it. That's our entry and Grand National preview.
Should we give a nap? Should we for the table?
Oh yeah, finish off the naps for the table.
I'll go last. It's got to be, isn't it? It's got to be in the national. It can't be anywhere else.
Come on then, let's give our national naps.
It cannot be anywhere else, can it? If we're going to cock up this naps table with a 33, with an Alpha de Zobo romps home at 66 to 1, 66 points in the bag, we may as well do it here. And we'll have it each way and all. So
how many places do you want to say? 6? Most bookies are paying 6, aren't they? So
yeah,
okay, 6 places. Disco Rama for me, each way. 0.5 point each way.
Dan?
Yeah, I'll go with Annabelle Fly.
I will go with some neck, but if he doesn't run, then I'll default it to Alpha de Zobo, because I don't think he'll get in.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Can I have it at 40s? Because the price is going to half if he gets in.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
SP.
All right. That's fine.
I will mention I am if we didn't go the rule in Arsenal, my nap of the weekend would have been my Jogo, and next best would have been Time Hill. I'll be playing those as 2 singles and a wee double if anyone's of any interest of that there. Yeah. Any others for the weekend you're going to have a bet on, lads?
Tommy Rapper would have been my best other bet in 18s in the first. There's not much other racing on, is there really, to be honest?
No, I mean just an entry. Was there any we'll put down as the next best, whatever, or Dan?
Yeah, I think Lister Oscar each way in the 335 is a unbelievable price at 12 to 1. Just don't get it. So I'll definitely be backing him.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Hope you've enjoyed. Hope you've picked the winner of the national. Good luck if you're trying, because we'll certainly try it, and we'll be back next week to see if we were successful or not. So yeah, for now it's goodbye, and we'll see you sometime next week. All the best.
Cool. See ya.